Hey, what is going on everybody? It is Nolan, or the OptiMystic Gamer here, and welcome to OptiMystic, a brand new Minecraft modded survival series in which we are going to be trying to conquer all the mods 10. I am going to gather resources while I chat with all of you about what this is going to look like as a series. So I have done a couple modded series in the past, if you remember. One of them was a bugged mod pack, which is completely my fault. The second was All the Mods 9, which was a little bit dated, and we never fully got back into that. But that is why we are doing All the Mods 10. This is going to be a very in-depth, story-based modded series, which I am very, very excited about. Today we are just going to spend some time searching for where our permanent home is going to be, because I want to make sure that we are settling in an area that we would really enjoy, and that is just something else. I would love to climb to the top of that, but we are going to skip that for now. We are also going to skip this and that floating island up there. We will return to all of this eventually. For now, it is very, very early in the game. We are skipping any structures unless we find a village or something like that. And we are, again, entirely focused on finding our permanent home. Now, similar to when we were doing the All the Mods 9 series, we are going to adhere pretty closely to the line of quests that we have, and in All the Mods 10, we have a lot of them. We will be busy for a very, very long time. But that being said, I do have a few goals for this series. Goal number 1, every building should have a function. Whereas in the OptiMystic Survival series, we build buildings to add to the valley just to fill in the space, this is going to be a little bit different. I want every building to have a function, in most cases, a vital function to our world. We have over 400 mods that will help us accomplish that, and we will need all of those buildings, or at least a lot of them, in order to house everything that we are planning on doing. And right now, I think our focus should actually be getting some food. So we are going to do our first crafting of the series. We are going to make a crafting table and a wooden axe. Of course, we are going to complete a lot of quests as we do some of this early game stuff, and we will go back and reap all of these rewards later on. I don't want to start collecting any of this stuff just yet because our inventory is going to fill up very quickly. As we can see, it already has quite a bit, but if we can find some string, we have leather now, so we could make a bundle. Let's go ahead and make our first pickaxe of the game, our wooden pickaxe. We will get some stone, and that way we can make a furnace, and we can cook some of that steak that we just got. And conveniently, I do see some coal down here as well, so we won't have to spend any wood on cooking that food. And I am keeping a close eye on the time. We might go back and kill some of those sheep that we found. As much as I would love to survive through the first night, modded Minecraft is not very forgiving, so I think we are just going to skip that first night if possible. But let's get some food cooked up real quick. And if we open up our map here, let's actually open up the journey map. It will be a little bit easier for us to see. It doesn't look like any village structures at the moment. I do see a spruce roof over here. That could be something, so we might go check that out, but nothing that resembles anything like a village. We'll come over here, we'll get some wool. We have 2 wool, we are going to need 1 more. There is a sheep up in this direction. So we won't have to worry about surviving through the first night. We can just skip it. Of course, we got a black sheep, which is not super convenient to us. Maybe we can make some purple dye using these hyssop plants. Not really sure how to say that. That's going to be the case for a lot of things in this mod pack. Unsure of the pronunciations, but that is all right. Just another thing that we will figure out as we go. And if you are interested in playing this pack alongside me, I will leave a download link for All the Mods 10. It does include the shader pack that I'm using, which is complimentary reimagined, trying to keep a vanilla feel as much as possible, but still having those shaders to make our world look a little bit nicer. So it is daytime now. We have skipped through that first night conveniently. Let's gather up our materials and continue on. I'm curious about this spruce structure over here in the distance. And we will continue to get all of the food that we can. It is going to be very helpful for us as we get things set up in our world. And it looks like this structure is just a lone structure, nothing special in it. We do have a copper spire right there, which is very interesting. In here, we do have some loot chests and nothing else really happening, but we will take a peek inside of these loot chests. It may be something that we will end up returning to, or maybe not if there is nothing really worth taking. We did get some running shoes. We will take that shovel as well. But I think everything else we will leave behind for now. And there are hostile mobs up here. I don't know if that is... Okay, they are in a cave. I was wondering if we had a thunderstorm or if they were spawning below the ground, but that does appear to be the case that they are below us, so nothing that we need to worry about. Lots of plains biomes, just modified a little bit. I do see what looks like it could be a plains version of a desert temple, which is very, very interesting. Again, something that we will mark down, take note of, and I believe that is a pillager outpost as well, so we might keep our distance from that. Lots of plains over here, which could be good for building. I'm almost wondering, though, if we are on just one big island here. As we continue back up to the northeast, we will see if it fills in at all. I'm hoping that's not the case. I was kind of hoping to get away from the islands after our last couple adventures in modded survival, but we will see what happens. And it is kind of looking that way, actually, as we venture back up. It could be a fun area for us to settle in and stay here, but again, I want something a little bit more grand and spectacular. Some mountains, some rivers, caves, things like that. So what I may end up doing is exploring for potentially an hour or two, trying to find that perfect area, and I will meet all of you back here once I do. Alright, I took a risk sailing across the ocean. Lots of dangerous mobs out here. Luckily, we got across with no harm done to us, and we have discovered a village. So this will be a good base camp for us as we continue our discovery. I haven't been at it for too long. I think what we will probably end up doing, though, is just setting a waypoint here and returning to the village later on. And as cool as the Waystone name is, we are going to keep things simple for us and just call it village. I am liking this area over here a little bit more than the spawn area, but I still think we are going to continue. Again, I am trying to find mountains. That is going to be the goal. It might take us some time, but once we do, it will definitely pay off. I've been adventuring for a little while now. We are making a pit stop so that I can make some more food because we did run out. This is what we have explored. I have made our way all the way around here. This biome didn't look all that interesting to me, so I continued on. We have another village, a double village right here, so I actually picked up the waystone from that one, so we now have a waystone for when we find where we want to live. And then we also have a village right here, which I think is another double village, as we have this one and then this one down here. So that is awesome as well. Some dangerous terrain coming through this river right here. I just kind of followed it all the way down from the top here. I'm not really sure what this structure was. It wasn't a pillager structure, but they were not friendly towards us, so we quickly sped past them on the boat. We will just cook that for now. That way we can continue on our journey. Luckily, that structure spawned right next to a lava pool, so it is burning to the ground. I initially got out of my boat to see if I could put the fire out. I guess they did not appreciate that, as they quickly forced me out of there. We do have a pillager outpost, though, over there, so we will want to be cautious of that. But we are getting into a snowy biome now, which I'm a little excited for, as long as we aren't getting stung by poison bees. Let's maybe walk around that and get some sleep real quick. And of course we want to avoid the pillager outpost as well. We may just follow the frozen river. That is a very unfortunate spot for this village to have generated. But if we can get onto the frozen river here, then we should just be able to plop down our boat and get around pretty quickly. This isn't going to last for too long. It looks like we are already getting back into some iceberg regions, but it helped out a little bit. And we do have an Ars Nouveau forest in here, which I think we will return to eventually, and a large cave underneath, it looks like. And I'm not really sure what mob this is. A cascading weld walker. That is a little terrifying, but he seemed to be friendly towards us. I'm trying to stay in the taiga/snow biomes as much as possible because it might lead us to a mountain, and it looks like the terrain over here is getting somewhat tall, so hopefully this is what we are looking for. I do like this area. The question will then be whether we want to deal with snow all the time. But there is some green over here that we could potentially build at. Let's just go ahead and continue down the frozen river and see what we can find. If I can keep our boat on the ice, that is. I do actually really like this region quite a bit, but again, it is going to be that question of whether we want to deal with the snow. So I'm going to look around in this area for a little bit. I think this is probably where we will end up settling. I'm going to try to find somewhere that will work really well for us, and once I do, I will meet back with all of you. I've been running around trying to get all of this snow biome filled in on our journey map. I'm not really venturing beyond this area right here. We do have a little bit more of an ice spikes region down here, but I'm not too worried about that. What I'm thinking we will end up doing is settling in this forested region right here, this taiga. I think that would be a really, really great place for us to set up. And we have some really cool mountains in here, some very tall ones over here next to these snowy plains, and some more in this direction as well. You can see those contours in the terrain. I am going to explore all the way up here and fill in the rest of this area all in here, but I think we, again, will end up here in the middle. I decided that the snow is not really something that I want to deal with, but you can see some of these mountains that are just absolutely stunning with the trees at the base and a fresh layer of snow at the top. And it is the terrain like this that has made the decision to live here a very easy one. And this is the area that we will be living in. It is a relatively flat, level spruce forest. We have a nice stony shore right here with a snowy beach as well, a little elevated above the frozen river down there, and a great blank canvas for us to start our home. I'm still filling in this area right up here. That will take a little bit more time, but this area is where we are going to end up settling. And that is where we are going to end things for today. I know it was a shorter sort of introductory episode for us, but that is all right. In the next episode, we can hit the ground running and get our starter home built. If you enjoyed today's episode, definitely hit that thumbs up button and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on videos as soon as I post them. If you want to take your support to the next level, consider becoming a channel member. All of that information is down in the description. And with all of that being said, comment, like, subscribe, remember to stay optimistic, and I will see all of you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye!